Hey guys, and welcome to the new episode of The Mailbag. I'm Cameron Morris, and in this episode, like always, we're going to be reading 10 comments that were posted in recent weeks to Man on Fire videos and kind of commenting on them, answering questions, and just responding, really, in general. Now, the first comment comes from all of Pokemon Emerald Episode 1, and this comment is from Nofuku Fuji. I think this is my new favourite Moth series, and also, I personally don't mind the speed up thing. I did it on my playthrough a lot as well. Now, what he's referring to there is during the series, the first episode of the series, we did the speed up thing, and we asked people, does it bug you? A lot of people came out and said that it doesn't bug them, and that they don't mind it, and no one really said that they did get bugged by it. So we've gone ahead, and for the second session and for future sessions, until someone says to stop, we're going to be using the speed up thing only to get through annoyingly slow parts. We won't use it all the time, because that would kind of ruin the experience for us as well. But yeah, and I'm also really glad that you like the series. It's something that a lot of people have been requesting. A Pokemon series, and I've never played Pokemon before, so I'm really enjoying it so far. We've done the second session. It's a bit weird, but it's also really entertaining, and the best is yet to come, because there is a Jack moment that won't be out for a couple of weeks, but when it does come out, you'll really enjoy it. I don't want to spoil anything, but he loses his mind. The second comment is from an episode of Anime Duo, where we reviewed Akame ga Kill. I think that's how you pronounce it. I couldn't say it in the episode, and I still can't say it now. So this is a pretty long comment, so I'm going to get ready and read this now properly. Okay. This is from Dylan Ross. I disagree with a lot of the points made in the plot section. I feel that a lot of this anime was driven by darkness and the backstory, and finally, Tatsumi's experience with the little girl, as shown later in the series... sorry, I fucking messed that up. As shown later in the series, the fact that most of the characters in Night Raid, the group, are stereotypes play an important role. All of the stereotypes that they embody were different, which led to conflict, which is a major part of the show. I will agree, however, that the first 4 episodes were not the best and didn't really show off the show very well. I also forgot to mention the character progression. There is no reason for Tatsumi to be a teen, but he does mature throughout the series, and it also becomes less sexual, and as all of the characters begin to become really come together, sorry, I can't read, of the common goal of overthrowing the government. Now, sorry that was a really long comment, but I really liked it because what it does is 2 things. First of all, it's the perfect comment for the show. Like, when we in Jack Do Anime Duo, we really want... We're not trying to make people agree with us. We're trying to make people kind of engage in a conversation about the anime and talk about the anime. And I really like that Dylan Ross approached us professionally. Even though he disagreed with a lot of what we said, he approached us, I'm sorry, professionally, and kind of talked about the anime in a way that we would talk about it, in a way that was professional, and actually more professional than we talked about it in the episode. A lot of his points are valid, and I'm slowly changing my opinion on some of the points I made. I'm still not a huge fan of the anime, but I like his comment, and I think that his comment is a great template for anyone who wants to talk to us about it, because it really engaged me, and I really thought about it a lot. Another thing his comment does is... he acknowledges that we only watched the first 4 episodes. I think we try to make that clear, and we try to say that, this is just us talking about the first 4 episodes, and he acknowledges that, and he understands that, and I think that's a really professional and mature way to approach the comment section of YouTube, which has got a lot of hate. Like, we don't get a lot of bad comments on our YouTube section, but a lot of other YouTubers do. They get horrible comments, and I don't know where it comes from, but I'm really appreciative that we get people like Dylan Ross who understand how to disagree but not be disrespectful. So I thought that was really cool, and I'd like to see some of his comments on other animes that we watch, and we might even touch on this comment again in a future episode of Anime Duo if we ever do come back to Akame ga Kill, because it sounds like it gets a lot better. Now, the third comment was posted on the most recent episode of Comic Talk, which was Raven's Origin, that I did. Thank you for editing it, Jack. I always hate to take credit for it now that it's edited by Jack. But this was by Neon Sheldon, and he said, "Man, I missed this. For a crest, I would think Beast Boy would come to mind first." Now, I'm glad that you missed the show. It was it's entirely on me. I've been slacking on Comic Talk. I did a video about slacking a little bit ago. And I've been getting better. I've been writing new episodes. I've been bringing in other people to write episodes, which is really fun. It's more of a collaborative thing now. But when it comes to the request, Beast Boy is a really good one. Beast Boy's Pass is kind of complicated and not a lot of people know it, so I'll definitely get on writing that. I think that's going to be the next one I really put all my focus into, just based on this request. We've got one coming up that isn't written by me. This should be really fun. It's still narrated by me, but it's entirely written by someone else. I just edited it. And Jack obviously edited the video. And it's really enjoyable, but Beast Boy is definitely going to be like on the top of my list as a good contender of something that can come out pretty soon. The fourth comment comes from our very own Ross Barker, and it was commented on Gary's Mod Spotlight where we did tanks. And he said, "Hey man, thanks for showcasing this mod. I was looking for something like this." The pun is too real. It's too real. Ross, gosh. The fifth comment was commented on Man on Fire Films podcast episode 88. And it comes from Oculus Official. Oculus_official, I should say. And he just, in all caps, just shouts, "Notice me, Moff!" Well, you've been noticed. Yeah. Congratulations for being noticed. I am, of course, Moff. So yeah. This next comment comes from the next podcast, the Man on Fire Films podcast 89, the Surprise Avengers podcast where we reviewed the Avengers Age of Ultron. And Emperor Zakata, in response to us asking if we should do massive podcasts every time a Marvel movie is introduced, says, "Yes, definitely do Marvel podcasts," smiley face. That's something that, since the podcast came out, I've been thinking a lot about, and I think it's a really good idea. People are really getting engrossed in the podcast because they have their own opinions, much like Anime Duo, and they want to hear what, the conflicting opinions that we all have, because even though we all liked the movie, we still all had very different opinions on the movie, and I think that happens with a lot of movies because of how different we are, like me, Jack, and Reese. And maybe we'll even be able to get Jack Thomas in, maybe John's sick. But yeah, we're definitely going to consider doing a podcast every time a Marvel movie comes out. The next one, I believe, is either Fantastic Four or, what's the other one? Ant-Man. Now, obviously, Fantastic Four isn't Marvel Studios, it's Fox, I believe. But we'll probably still do one on that because of how different it looks to everything else. So that should be entertaining. The seventh comment was posted on Misery Mondays when Jack did Sonic Ball, or Sonic Ball. And Unformulated, in response to Jack saying that he didn't know if this was a dank meme, Unformulated said, "Don't worry, you're right. This dank meme is not the dankest of all." And I'm glad, because I appreciate the Sonic meme. I think it's pretty dank, but definitely it's not one of the dankest out there. And Unformulated has come in to tell us that, in fact, I was right, and its dankness is not up to the standard of other dank memes. This next comment is comment 8, and it comes from the Vanilla Chronicles, episode 2. Oh, good for you. Oh, that rhymed. I didn't know that. Game Gaming asked a question that a lot of people have been asking, and maybe even not asking, just assuming. Is this the server you own? So is the series filmed and recorded on the server that we own, the Man on Fire Films Minecraft server? It's not. A lot of people have been commenting saying they're trying to find us. We don't record it on the server for that reason. We don't want to get interrupted. It's not that we don't like you guys on the server. We love the server. It's just that we're trying to record a video and it's supposed to be vanilla, and there's a lot of mods on that server, you know, to try and enhance the experience. A lot of people also saying that Optify is a mod. I think of it more as a texture pack. It doesn't affect the gameplay in any way. The only thing it really affects is the viewing experience, which is what we're trying to enhance. So yeah, there's no real mods on the thing we play, and we play in a LAN party because we record in the same room in the studio. So there's no way of getting onto the server. So apologies if you wanted to interrupt us while we were recording. The ninth comment today, the last but one, I should say, comes from Augustine Uzuch. Augustine Uzuchu Yukwayu. I'm so sorry if that is your real name. I'm sorry, and I can't pronounce it. But Augustine Uzuchukwa. Uzuchukwa. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is on Tory Bash Tips episodes 65. And obviously Tory Bash Tips now hosted by our guest host. Says, I don't know who this guy is, but I like him. Well, the person in fact is Mr. Ross Barker. A little backstory on Ross. We found him in a cave. He was raised by polar bears in the Sahara. And we took him and we claimed him as our own. And we taught him many lessons on how to speak. And he would like do things where he would do like weightlifting with his voice box. And we basically created the perfect voice. And that is Ross Barker. Now, unfortunately, because he spent so long honing his voice to be the best voice ever and playing Tory Bash so much, he is actually like the least functioning human being of all time, but he has got the best voice ever, so, you know, it's a trade-off. And the final comment this episode is on bloopers of Big Plans, the sketch we did. And Fries Guys 5467 says, Cameron screaming for half a minute. K, gonna make some audio porn now. Oh, yeah, I guess. It makes me uncomfortable, you know? Please don't do that. I should scream now and like make it a sequel, like Audio Porn 2. It doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you everyone for commenting. Sorry if you didn't make it on the show. We only include 10 comments because of time restraints. But thank you everyone for commenting. I love reading your comments and I love including them in this episode. Usually if I don't respond to them here, if it's something that I really want to respond to and it doesn't make it into the show, I'll respond to it on YouTube in a text response. I don't know where the video stopped there, so I'm just going to repeat that entire bit. Keep commenting, keep being mature, and add to the content, you know. And also, please, if you comment first, there's no problem with it. Just know that it is the least creative comment ever. Some guy that I wanted to include in this episode, but he was like number 11, so I couldn't put him in. But I'll say his comment anyway. Instead of commenting first, he commented taco, and I was like, that's amazing, that's funny. But if that starts becoming a thing and everyone just replaces first with taco, it's just going to be as worse. It's just going to be as bad. I must apologise for not being able to talk this episode. I've been doing uni work a long time. I've been up pretty much all night, and I'm recording this in the morning. Well, not even the morning. I thought it was the morning, but it turns out it's like 11 o'clock or something. So, anyway, I hope that you were able to comprehend my stupid words and sayings. Thank you for watching. As always, I've been Cameron Morris, and maybe I'll see you next month, or maybe it'll be Jack, or maybe it'll be Reese, or maybe it'll be the other Jack. Remember to hit subscribe, like, favorite, comment. Bye!